Freckles the Liger was rescued in December of 2008 along with Alex and Cookie the Tigers from a backyard in Mississippi. The backyard was a sanctuary formerly known as Cougar Haven that at one point housed 38 big cats. You can read the full story about the failed sanctuary and the rescue of Freckles, Alex, and Cookie by clicking on the link in the description to this video. Freckles is now 18 years old. For a big cat, this is very old, and for a liger, this is ancient, as we don't know any other ligers over the age of 7. This is because ligers have many health problems due to genetic abnormalities and neurological defects associated with hybridization. When we first saw Freckles in Mississippi, we could see that she had a hole in her jaw that had gone untreated for a long time and all of her canine teeth had broken off, presumably from chewing on her chain link cage. She was in such bad shape that we couldn't risk sedating her to check out the problems. She's a cranky old cat and wouldn't let us get a good look, so we gave her antibiotics in case it was just an injury. Once Freckles had settled in at the sanctuary, we were confident that her bad teeth were the cause of the problem and that she was healthy enough to deal with the anesthetic, so we went ahead and performed dental work on her in 2009. You can see the video of her dental surgery here. After the surgery, she seemed much happier. She was eating well and all was good. Then, about 6 months later, we noticed she was having difficulty walking and was showing weakness in her hind legs. She was monitored closely by BCR staff and our vet, and together we decided that we had to take action. We arranged for the use of portable ultrasound and x-ray machines that are used to examine horses. This way we could perform the examination at the sanctuary and keep the stress levels to a minimum for Freckles. As you can see, we sedated Freckles in what we call a lockout area. Most enclosures have these smaller cube cages attached to the larger portion of the enclosure. This is where the cats are fed and where they can find fresh water. So this is a smaller space they're used to going into. It's actually their favorite place to be because this is where they're fed. So it only took 2 people, one with the magic food bucket to entice Freckles into the lockout, while the other person slowly slid the door down behind her. Then when she was eating and distracted, we easily injected her with the drugs. Once we were sure Freckles was completely knocked out, we then detached one side of the lockout, lifted her into the sling and then into the transport cage and made our way to the cat hospital as quickly as possible, getting pretty soggy in the process. In the hospital, we performed a physical exam, checking and evaluating her hind limbs for signs of arthritis. We checked the range of motion and felt for crepitus, which is the noise your joints make when they're having issues, like a popping or crunching sound. We drew blood so it could be checked to evaluate her organ function. We took a lot of radiographs of her spine and hind legs, which was very difficult because of her size and the limitations of the portable x-ray machine. We were taking x-rays to look for signs of arthritis, spinal cord compression, spondylosis in her spine, and anything abnormal. Then finally, we did an ultrasound of her abdomen to look for cancerous masses or any abnormalities in her internal organs. We ruled out problems within her bones with the x-rays and suspected that her problems stemmed from neurological issues. Unfortunately, nerve problems are unable to be seen with standard x-rays, so we began treating her for a neurologic problem and monitoring her quality of life. While she was in the cat hospital recovering, we converted her lockout area into a den so we could observe her more easily. We changed the hay monthly so she always has a clean, soft bed. We added shade cloth to the front of her enclosure so she doesn't feel so exposed all the time, and keepers are using a sheet to record where she is in the enclosure, at what time, and what she's doing. Here we are a year later. Freckles has been doing really well and has made improvements. We see her in the larger part of her enclosure in the morning, in the middle of the day, and in the evenings, checking out her lake view, and some keepers have even heard her start to roar when Joseph next door is making sure people know he's there. We'd like to thank all of our volunteers and supporters for helping us to provide the best care possible for our cats. You can help us change the way people treat big cats by texting the word tiger to 20222.